America, if you live in a larger city, there are still a lot of people wearing masks, though it's not mandatory. But now Philadelphia is set to bring back its mask mandate starting next Monday, the first major city to do so this spring. Joining us now, Julia Manchester, national political reporter for The Hill. Julia, we looked at the numbers. There is an average of only 142 cases per day in a city of 1.6 million people. Why the decision to reinstate these mandates?
You know, Adrienne, it's interesting. Philadelphia is not the only entity or locality that is reinstating these mask mandates. Just down the street from me in D.C. at the George Washington University and American University, those institutions have also decided to reinstate their indoor mask mandates. And we're also seeing that airlines could extend those mask mandates that passengers wear on planes. And also public transportation mask mandates could be extended as well. So I think what you're seeing right now, Adrienne, is something that public health officials have been warning about for quite some time, a peak or a spike in those COVID-19 cases as a result of this new Omicron or coronavirus variant. So I think you are potentially seeing these localities, these institutions wanting to be extra careful about the spike in cases. You know, here in D.C., it's been interesting to watch the amount of the political class that has all caught COVID. Speaker Nancy Pelosi, for example, yesterday, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar from Minnesota tested positive for the coronavirus. So it seems like there's a lot more coverage of these rising cases, and we're seeing a reactionary response from cities like Philadelphia or education institutions.
Well, and it's a big difference between a city of 1.6 million and mandating everybody masks up, or in Philadelphia's case, saying that businesses will be exempt from having to have people require the mask if they require vaccinations. What's the political impact of all of this?
Oh, it's a huge political impact. You know, Republicans and conservatives have been messaging on this issue for quite some time. In fact, if you go back to last year's Virginia gubernatorial election, we saw a Republican candidate, now Governor Glenn Youngkin, very much campaign on saying, look, I'm not going to have these mask or vaccine mandates. I'm going to encourage people to get the vaccine, but it's not going to be mandated. And that sort of choice of whether to wear a mask or vaccine has really been touted by a lot of Republicans, even though we've seen some Republicans like Florida Governor Ron DeSantis very much push back against the idea of, you know, sometimes wearing a mask in public, you know, publicly scolding some students at a campus he spoke at a few months ago for wearing masks in public, calling it theater and such. So it's definitely a hot political issue right now, but it's something Democrats will have to walk a very fine line on. They have been getting hammered by Republicans on these issues of lockdowns and vaccine mandates. So it's something they're going to have to deal with in their messaging. And I think you're going to see Republicans point back to how Democratic governors, lawmakers, President Biden very much led during the pandemic in terms of these mask mandates, vaccine mandates, and lockdowns.
Well, it's interesting. A NewsNation poll just a few weeks ago found Americans, Republicans and Democrats, overwhelmingly see inflation as the top problem, 68%. COVID, just 19% in terms of what is the biggest problem facing the U.S. today. Are masks and freedom of choice, no matter what political party somebody affiliates with, going to be something that moves voters this November?
It could be. I think it's going to play a role in lots of these primaries, especially on the Republican side, very much using rhetoric to hammer Democratic opponents. And it's something that I think Republicans and conservative activists will use to rally up their own bases. But I think you're absolutely right. And the voters and the respondents in that poll, are also absolutely right. When voters go to the polls, a lot of times it is based on, you know, what's happening in their pocketbook, what their financial situation is. Now, the presidential election of 2020 was a bit of a different situation because we were still navigating our way through, you know, kind of the beginning of the pandemic in a way. Now, Americans have found some sort of a way to move forward. We've returned to some sense of normalcy, whatever normal is, but there is a, you know, we're seeing more openings and, you know, Americans being out and about and such. So I think the economy, like it normally is, will be a top issue for voters at the polls this November.
And as we say many times on the show, and I say many times on the show, this is a different stage of the pandemic. We have so many people vaccinated. That's why America has been able to move forward, is because we don't see the same types of horrible deaths and sicknesses and infection rates like we did in March of 2020 and later on that year. Thank you so much, Julia. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.